We're live.
We have to make a move, like, it's under general business, so we have to do something, either table it or something. Yeah, it's under general business. If it was under communication, we wouldn't have to do it. And we don't have to do anything, we just, the resolutions have their forge stuff. What? If they would hear from council, their support, and let them deal with the city. We don't have to.
Mr. Chairperson. Second.
Okay. Okay, I'll call the meeting to order. Okay, 7:00, good evening. Okay, read the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge we are gathered on Treaty 1 and Treaty 2 territories, and that Manitoba is located on the treaty territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, Oate, Denasunalale, Ojibwe, Nihi-Tukuk. We acknowledge Manitoba is located on the homeland of the Red River Métis. We respect the spirit and intent of treaties and treaty making and remain committed to working in partnership with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. Thank you. Okay. Now we're to 3.0. There's no meetings to confirm. We'll go to point 4. We'll just have to move a few things around, folks.
Need a motion.
Yeah, can I have a motion to adopt the agenda with the additions of the supplementary package we got? If I can have a motion, and they're all listed in the supplementary package. It includes the, yeah, all of them, yeah, and then I'll make, yeah. Well, no, you don't have to read it out, just, we'll call it the supplementary package with the motion to accept, receive, add to the agenda, the supplementary package. Yeah.
Be resolved that the agenda be adopted with the following supplementary package added to it.
Yeah, supplementary package, yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
I'll second it.
Seconded, so we've got a mover, a seconder, and we're gonna have to move some things around because we've got two large agenda packages. So does anybody have any questions? Make sure the supplementary covers all that. Nobody has any questions, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Next thing is on the agenda is 5.1, 7:15, Donna McIntosh, Lake Clemente concerns. Is Donna here? Come up and introduce yourself, tell your name. And,
Explain.
Yeah.
10 minutes.
Yeah. Donna, we got a fairly heavy meeting, we got 10 minutes, yeah, if you don't mind.
Sorry, I just need to say this. I just wanted to say before I got started that if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them after I'm done. So good evening, we counselors, CAO, there's one here. I am here this evening to speak on Lake Clemente. It's a very shallow lake. I would like to start by saying that this is a very sensitive issue for myself, my partner, and for many other people. So keeping my emotions in check on this issue is difficult. My name is Donna McIntosh. Gord Smith and myself live on Lake Clementi Road in Oakland, Wawaniisa Municipality. We purchased our property in the year 2014. The reason we purchased where we did is because of the lake and the wonderful quality of life that we have because of it. Along with Lake Clementi comes the beauty, wonderful smell of the water, and of course all kinds of aquatic animals and wildlife, as the lake is a natural home for them. The lake is densely populated with western tiger salamanders, which are of special concern in the prairie boreal areas, and in the southern mountain population, they are assessed as endangered. Lake Clementi is also home to the northern leopard frog, which is listed as a special concern. One of the main reasons for endangerment is loss of habitat. Lake Clementi is also used by an abundance of migratory birds. We get sandpipers, geese, blue heron, and I've had the privilege of watching swans on the lake. Could any of the wildlife depending on Lake Clementi be endangered? It is my understanding that is a great possibility. It is also my understanding that the owners at the very end of our road had a disclosure when they purchased their property. Should this not be available for the public to review, seeing as numerous taxpayers and homeowners will be affected? I would like to point out that it is not uncommon for many homeowners to have sump pumps running, especially in low-lying areas. Not long after this property was purchased, one of the homeowners complained to Gord that their sump pump was running every 5 minutes. So this is why we have requested the original home inspection be reviewed and another home inspection be completed by the same inspector. Have the owners done anything to alleviate their situation on their own over the years? Landscape, berm, bigger sump pump, backup generator, raise or move their house? The buyers had to have been aware of the 3 individual ponds on and surrounding the house and property, creating a wetland. Still, they made the decision to purchase with the house only 75 feet from the lake at the time. Did the new owners think they were immune from rising water levels forever? That decision was a risk that they, and they alone, chose to take. It is my understanding that other residents in this municipality have had water or flood issues. They have approached this municipality and have been turned down. I would like to know why Lake Clementi has even become an issue, and for the second time. One of the owners stopped me on our public road on June 7th, 2023, and stated that the councillors didn't want to hear about Lake Clementi anymore. She also stated that everyone on our road would have to be in agreement to do anything further. What changed? Please inform taxpayers and people that live in the vicinity, especially since council meetings, or any meetings that we know of, began on June 20th, 2023. Again, on July 18th, 2023. Again, on October 17th, 2023, with Sampson Engineering to authorize extra work. And again, another meeting on November 21st, 2023. It is my opinion that for whatever reason, there seems to be a push to move this issue forward, silently and quickly, and ask for forgiveness later. This council needs due diligence long before such a project should even be considered. I have heard that some licensing and a grant has been applied for, and it seems to me that things are being hidden from residents. I would also like to make all of you aware that Lake Clementi is the end result of water flow, not the start. Many of us have a well connected to this aquifer. A concern that I have Could this proposed drainage of Lake Clemente affect our water or the quality of our water at some point? And why is there not a hydrologist engineer involved in such a major undertaking? Altering on lake level is in fact major. I feel that it is up to this council to ensure that a fully qualified engineer of hydrology be involved, giving all of you a chance to truly do your due diligence, making an educated decision in this matter. This would also give all of you the ability to execute your duties and responsibilities to this municipality as a whole, as per the oath that all of you have taken. I would like to state a very important fact. The licensee is responsible for all damage resulting from works constructed, operated, or maintained, or from defect, insufficiency, or failure of the works. Whether the license or registration certificate is in good standing, abandoned, suspended, or canceled. This liability, it's huge. It's huge. This is forever for one property. All while creating maintenance costs, loss of property value for other homes, and forcing other homes to have a disclosure if wanting to sell. Harming the lives of many and their quality of life, which to me is immeasurable. None of us purchased our homes with this hanging over our lives. My understanding is if this proposal fails to work, the owners will have grounds to sue the RM of Cornwallis. I have provided all of you with copies of the Government Water Rights Drainage and Control, as well as a copy of the definition of water control works. I would like to thank all of you for letting me address you this evening. Thank you. I do have just a folder here of letters of concern from other citizens. I'm not sure who.
Yeah. I'll make sure we all get a copy.
Any questions at all, or?
Okay. Open it up to the floor. Any council have any questions? Thank you. Okay, we'll make sure Donald, CEO gets this and files it. Yep.
Be resolved that the presentation by Donna McIntosh related to Lake Clemente concerns be received as information.
Yep. Seconder? Councilor Maxwell. Anybody any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Jennifer Grant.
I'm actually going to decline my delegation this evening. I feel that there's a lot of misinformation that's been flying around, and anything I say is just going to add fuel to a fire that we don't need to be at right now. So thank you. Sorry for wasting your time and adding it to the agenda.
Thank Jennifer.
Merry Christmas.
No action then on that one. Okay, the next one, Lynn Forbes.
Good evening, everyone, dear Reeve and council members. I am here this evening to express the collective frustration and disillusionment of our community's ratepayers based on the results of a recent public meeting I hosted. The purpose of the meeting was to hear from members in the community regarding items of concern identified by the public. The ratepayers in our community are deeply concerned about the apparent disconnect between the promises made during the election campaign in reference to transparency, accountability, and fairness, and the current state of communication from our elected representatives. There is a growing sentiment among residents that the council has not fulfilled its commitment to keeping the public informed about ongoing projects key developments, and various updates on various committees. Specifically, concerns were raised regarding the lack of information on critical matters such as the Chater utility, Grand Valley road improvements, and updates from committees covering personnel, bylaws, transportation, police board, budgeting, public works, and the Keystone Planning District. The absence of regular updates on these matters has left our residents feeling neglected and uninformed about the issues affecting our community. Furthermore, the frustration is exacerbated by the apparent unavailability of councillors, the lack of response to information requests, and the failure to adhere to the Zoom meeting policy. This not only undermines the principles of transparency, but also erodes the trust that ratepayers have placed in their elected representatives. In an effort to bridge this communication gap and rebuild trust, we propose the following measures. Designated spokespersons. Assign specific councillors as spokespersons for committees and projects. This ensures a dedicated point of contact for residents seeking information on issues, fostering clearer lines of communication. Regular updates. Implement a systematic approach to provide regular updates on ongoing projects, committee activities, and other significant matters. This could include periodic newsletters, town hall meetings, enhanced online presence, or an updated section on the municipal website. Timely responses. Establish a protocol for timely responses to information, requests, and complaints. Acknowledging receipt and providing an estimated timeline for resolution can go a long way in demonstrating accountability. Transparent financial reporting. Ensure that key financial information, including councillor indemnities, is provided along with monthly financial reports. This level of transparency is essential for maintaining public trust. Reinstate and improve Zoom meetings to facilitate remote participation, particularly for those who may face barriers attending in person. This will enhance accessibility and inclusivity. It is crucial that we address these concerns promptly to reestablish a positive and collaborative relationship between the council and the community. We understand the challenges you face and appreciate your commitment to public service, but we urge you to prioritize open communication and transparency for the overall well-being of our municipality. Our residents are not only frustrated, but also deeply concerned about the impact of this communication gap on the effective functioning of our municipal government. By taking proactive measures to improve transparency, you will not only fulfill your election promises, but also contribute to a more engaged and harmonious community. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and we look forward to witnessing positive changes that benefit the entire community. Thank you.
Be resolved that the presentation by Lynn Forbes related to ratepayer concerns be received as information.
Second, Councillor Gohan. Anybody got any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Put my stopwatch off. Really. Okay, down to report of committees. Now, we do have 6.1. We did have a transportation committee meeting. Can the chairperson of that committee maybe give us a report, a verbal? On November the 21st, we had a transportation committee meeting. If you got, don't have the notes. Don't have to be verbatim, like some of the things that we discussed.
Yeah, sure.
It's on the November the 21st on our agenda.
Okay, we did in fact discuss a few items, the Gray Road speed limit was brought forward. That was an issue that came up at a public meeting, I believe, on the 17th of October, where there was some concerns raised by residents along the Grand.
457,
Yeah, 459.
459.
Yeah, 459 and Gray Road intersection where there's concerns about speeds there, so we put together a motion that'll come out of it. We also spoke to the Hall Road bylaw. There's an update coming. First reading is actually more to bring it in line. It's 23 years old, so we improved the descriptions of the roads based on road numbering, and also we did delete 5 miles of Hall Road, and that is between 340 and 110 highway. And there's a little bit more had to be added in because it's a new pit, so that was like that. We went through the DFA 2 locations where we were getting some money, and actually a motion was passed at the following meeting, so it was looked after, so that was
For the two, excuse me, for the 2 bridges
the 2 bridges.
that are dire need of repair.
Yeah, well, one's closed, I think, still, right? With this one.
Yeah.
And then we went through the capital, the Public Works foreman brought forward his capital needs, if you will, for the upcoming budget. And we also discussed the Lake Clementi project, where it was at, and what we were going to continue on with. And then we had a complaint about a tree that they cut down, and I don't know that, I think that our admin just got hold of the customer and advised them it was quite high up on the road lawns and would be a hazard to us as we were snow plowing, so I think that was basically all that we did. Out of this will come a motion to lobby the provincial government to adjust the speed limit on 459 from 90K to 70, but that would be up to them whether they'll consider that for us. And that's my report.
Okay, good. That's it. Could I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Councilor Brown, any questions? Just a comment here for Ed, you might have missed that one, in 6.1.2, relief grader operator. In the wintertime, we generally, Yeah, yeah, it's in here. Okay, you are the,
Yeah, I know, but like, that's the next one.
Okay.
I have the personnel committee, that's me too.
okay, it's not separated here. Okay, so I'll call for the question for the transportation. Anybody, any questions, further comments about the transportation? Call for the question, all in favor? Carried. Now we get the chance for personnel.
Oh, good. Okay, so I'm also the chair of the personnel committee, so we held that meeting. It was on the 14th. That meeting, we discussed a letter from our CAO identifying some needs that we will bring forward at this meeting for some assistance. We also spoke to some computer change-ups. I realize it doesn't seem like a personnel thing, but we needed them to help out with the personnel we have here, so we discussed that and had a presentation tonight earlier at a special meeting from our IT folks, and we'll be bringing forward a motion based on that. The relief grader operator, as you mentioned, there's a motion, I believe, tonight to look after that. And the rest of the items on there were only put on the agenda as placeholders because we didn't actually delve into them all. We just were fleshing out what we consider to be the items the personnel committee will work on going forward. That's my report.
That's it. You want to make a motion? Yeah, we got a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to move that report to my personnel.
You second it? Shane seconds it. Any questions? Okay, I'll call for the question. All in favor? No? Carried. Okay. Communications, okay, I've got a motion here for communications because it's combining the two meetings. Motion to receive and file all communications from 4.1 to 4.8 on the draft agenda, and then from 8.11 to 8.3. So I'll have a mover to accept all communications. Yeah, okay, Councilor Maxwell. and
motion.
Yeah, you second? Oh, Councilor Brown seconds it, to receive all that communications. I've got it here. I'll just mark it here. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, we
Yep.
should deal with the motions that we have from Personnel Committee and the relief grader operator.
Yes, just give me 1 second here, Councilor Brown. Okay, so we've received that. Now we're going into,
Yeah, that's your question.
yeah, oh yeah, I'll call for the question. Yeah. All in favor? Yeah, yeah. There was a lot of movements and pieces around here.
We can go back to the six.
8,
No, six.
what's that?
Six is speed.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Now we gotta go 6.1.2.1. So I'll have a motion.
There's 6.1.2.
Yeah.
Speed reduction. Speed limit.
Is it?
I'll get
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Whereas at a public meeting, council was made aware of the safety issues due to excessive speed at Gray Road and PTH 459 junction. And whereas the provincial government regulates speed limits on PTH 459, therefore be it resolved that the RM Cornwall has lobbied the province to reduce the speed limit on PTH 459 to 70 kilometers an hour from the current 90 kilometers per hour.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Councilor Ross? Okay, any questions? I'll call for the question. All in favor? Yeah, good. Okay, now,
Now, with
6.1, yeah,
Be it resolved that a relief grader operator be hired at the same rate of pay as 2022. A grader operator, Peter Van Lankel, price value with $30 per hour.
seconder, Councilor Brown, any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Now we dealt with 6.2. Yeah.
You can go on.
Whereas council recognizes the need for additional administrative staff to reduce the accumulated backlog in the RM office, and whereas the personnel committee recommends the hiring of an additional staff person, therefore be it resolved that the interim CAO and the personnel committee chairperson are hereby authorized to interview, select, and hire a term contract assistant CAO.
Second. Any comments, questions? I'll just make a comment here. I'm not gonna support that because we got no dollar an hour figure or nothing here. That, we're basically leaving a blank check here. We could, we don't have a number. So I'm gonna make a recommendation. Should we discuss that further at a committee meeting, like to hone in on the dollar value? Because we could pay this guy her or him $200, $300, $400 an hour. There's no dollar value attached to it. So that's a blank check. I'm not gonna support it, so.
I propose we table this
Yeah.
until the January meeting and
Good idea.
the personnel committee meeting.
I have concerns about it, only because we need someone in here quicker than that, because our CAO is going on vacation.
Didn't hear that. Can you speak up?
I said the CAO is going on vacation in January. and I would like to have someone there.
We've got comment.
We kind of did run this through the committee, that's where it came from. came through the personnel.
True enough, we didn't establish the thresholds, or,
You want to add a friendly amendment to $4 then?
And hours, we need to, in my opinion, council does.
what do you recommend?
A certain max length and, that would be full time, I assume.
No,
It's an assistant CAO position. Up to a certain amount per hour?
Yes.
like, just a comment here, folks, when we did we had to, if I remember right, when we hired the financial assistant, weren't we advised we have to create a position first? You know, when we hired, I think we need to slow down here a little bit and see what the rules are as per the act. I think we have to create a position first, even though it's intern, we've got to create a position and the months, the terms, things like that. It just, we're going into this blind. See, not intern, like, is it temporary? Like,
This is a term contract, so,
yeah, it's,
but
yeah.
chairperson's right, we do need to create a position.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, if we don't get this filled, we're gonna have nobody while our interim CAO is away.
I'm in agreement with Councilor Ross. I think we need to table it, sit down as a committee and put some parameters to it. Intern, is it a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year? We need to define intern, so.
Well, at the committee meeting, we did discuss it was a renewable 6-month term.
Yeah. But it's not in the resolution though. It was at a committee meeting, no action items.
Make a friendly amendment,
Make it
add that in there.
6-month term.
Yeah, but the dollar amount. You need,
Up to a
Yeah.
maximum of so much per hour?
but how about, should we not create a position first?
Well, it's gonna take us time
It's gonna
to
take time to find something.
find something.
So we can create something.
We've already got a former intern, like CEO here, I'm sure you can help.
Mm.
the ladies.
We can't rely on that.
Was that?
You can't rely on that without them present.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna support it.
Well, there's a question for you, Mr. Chairperson. The person that we have providing financial help in the office right now, he's hired as a contractor.
We didn't create that.
I
And we
wasn't at
didn't
that,
create that
I-
position.
I wasn't at that meeting. That's the meeting I wasn't at.
You were at the personnel one.
I was, but no action item. I mean,
No, but if there was an issue then, why wouldn't you brought it forward?
when I went home, I seen the resolution. Like, when you're dealing with people's money, I'm a firm believer, so let's set the goal and the targets, the dollar amounts, put it right into that resolution. And I didn't write the resolution, I'm sorry, so,
Will we amend the resolution for that? If you want.
well, somebody needs to
Who started the
put some dollar.
Who started the resolution?
Oh, if you can't amend it. So, has he got an amendment?
You want to amend that? The friendly amendment?
No. I mean, council has to identify the dollar amount before you even think about interviews, selecting, advertising. These are things that need to be established. And we have to go back, like I said, I think we need to get a better understanding. Do we have to create a position? Just a question.
Could we not authorize the search begin for this person? Find out if we're required to create the position and then create the position, because it's going to take him months to find somebody. I got up if there's anybody chomping at the bit here
Yeah.
to come in.
There's a motion and a second on the floor, so that has to be. Mr. Maxwell, have you got somebody in mind, no? Well, we gotta move on, I mean, without thresholds, numbers, and I think we're setting ourselves up to failure.
Well, what I would suggest would be to make a friendly amendment for term contract for 6-month period at a rate of $50 an hour,
Not to exceed.
not to exceed $50 an hour. I'll accept the amendment.
So can you write that out so we all see it? We need copies. Give us copies, maybe. So we all.
You want me to reread the whole thing?
Well, the way you want the motion to read, that's, if you're gonna amend it.
Just go from
Therefore, be it
resolved.
resolved that the interim CAO and personnel committee chairman are hereby authorized to interview, select, and hire a term contract assistant CAO for a 6-month term at a rate not to exceed $50 per hour.
Can I make a friendly amendment to the friendly amendment? It's a 6-month renewable term.
6-month renewable term.
Okay. So now you'll have to read it again.
Therefore, be it resolved that the interim CAO and the personnel committee chairman are hereby authorized to interview, select, and hire a term contract assistant CAO for a 6-month renewable term at a rate of no more than $50 per hour.
Now we got that. Second,
You-
Okay, Council Brown. Any questions?
I think we'll just ask admin to find out the nuts and bolts of what we need to do to make sure that that's above board, and then we
Yeah.
can change our signing authorities as necessary to match that.
Okay. I'm gonna request the CEO to check into if we need to create a position, number one. That's the first thing we have to do. Second thing is, make sure all the signing authorities, are in place if need be. Well, actually,
Once the person's hired.
yeah, we will have to create a signing position because right now our procedure bylaw or organization bylaw will not allow us to have an assistant CEO sign checks or any signing. Yeah. Anything else? I can't support that because I think we don't know where we are financially and all that, so that's the only comment I'll make. So I'll ask for the question. All in favor? Against? I'll vote against it. Yeah, okay. Moving on. Good. What's that? Okay, we got all the communications. We are down to
8-4.
8.4.
Whereas the municipality of Cornwall has finalized an agreement with Munisoft in 2023, which included the payroll package. Therefore, be it resolved that effective January 1st, 2024, the municipality of Cornwall will be commencing all payroll functions to Munisoft from ADP.
And the second, Councillor Derwin. Can you want to explain that, Councillor Ross? It's for the audience.
We've had bad luck with ADP, and I'm glad to hear that Munisoft is up and running and able to handle this function.
Any other questions? I'll call for the question. All in favor? Good. Okay. 8.
Is 8-5 included as
Yeah,
part of the
well,
communications?
we're gonna have to have a motion to receive it as well. We have to skip over because the agenda is all over. So. It's just a report from the Keystone Planning. Somebody wants to make a motion to receive it?
Yes, we'll make a motion as receiving the Keystone Planning District building permit, receiving file.
You wanna, you wanna include 8.6, that's 8.6, 8.7, like it's all over the place, this agenda.
Okay, well, we can do 8.5, 8.6, and 8.7.
If you wanna make your motion,
We'll make that motion to have them receive and file.
okay,
Second?
any questions on those? No, I'll call for the question, all in favor? Carried. So we're down to 8.7.1. I believe that's yours to review. Oh,
Be resolved that the municipal water truck and public works employees be hereby authorized to assist the Meadowbrook Village Park rink with the flooding of the ice surface.
I'll second.
second. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay, this, 8.9 and 8.10 is another communication.
8.8, 8.9, and 8.10.
What's that?
Be it resolved that Council RM of Cornwall receive 8.8, 8.9, and 8.10 as information.
Communications. Okay, there's your motion. Councilor Maxwell. Okay, call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay, 9.1, special levy one. Yeah.
We do that.
Oh, now we got table thing. Yeah, but we just,
Over this table.
yeah, table out.
Well,
9.1 is off the table because we dealt with it earlier. Interim budget. 9.2.
Be resolved that in accordance with section 163 of the municipal act, the council hereby adopts an interim operating budget for the year 2024 as follows: general government services 200,000, protective services 120,000, transportation services 280,000, environmental health services 60,000, public health and welfare services 28,000, environmental development services 35,000, and economic development services 20,000. Recreation and cultural services 5,000, fiscal services 18,000, and utility of 30,000.
Second,
I'll second that motion.
Councilor Brown. Yeah, any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Tax sale, 9.3.
Whereas section 365, I think it would be resolved. I'll read it why I did it. Whereas section 365, subsection 2 of the municipal act provides that council may in any year designate the immediately preceding year or any earlier year as the year for which properties, the taxes in respect of which are in arrears for the year, must be offered for sale by auction to recover the tax arrears and costs. Be it resolved that the designated year for which properties in arrears to be offered for sale by auction be 2023, meaning all properties with outstanding taxes from the year 2022 or prior, and be it further resolved that in accordance with sections 363 subsection 1 of the municipal act, costs shall be the actual costs incurred by the municipality for each parcel listed for the tax sale, plus an administration fee of $50 per roll as set forth in Manitoba Regulation 50/97, and be it further resolved that the tax sale be held Tuesday, November pick one.
I don't.
20th.
November the 20th?
2024 at, oh, sorry, 19th.
19th is the night of our regular
Sorry,
meeting.
Tuesday. Oh. Not the 12th? The week before? That's a day after.
Is it-
Memorial Day, though.
It normally it's just a day in November. It doesn't have to be
Okay.
a meeting or anything.
It's not that it says tax sale. 19th, okay. 19th, 2024 at 10 a.m. at the RM of Cornwallis Council Chambers.
Okay, so can I have a second? Councilor Ross, any questions? No? I'll call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Is it long one?
Yeah.
Okay. 10.1.
Be resolved that the bylaw number 1719/11/2023 being a bylaw to regulate and control the mining and transport of aggregate be given second reading.
I'll second it.
Second, any questions? No? Just a comment, did you guys read the letter from the ratepayer about the municipal hearing? Like there was a lot of concerns brought forward. Is there any intent to add some of these to this, to the bylaw? Like for the municipal hearing, that was
This
the,
bylaw was originally
Yeah.
brought forward as just strictly the sole purpose is to increase the license for the pit. That's all it's for. That's all the only change.
so no intent to, Council Brown was there, and I think Council Brohan was at the
There's a
municipal
committee, a regular committee that may proceed, we may take a look at it.
at later date.
But if we don't do this now.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
don't get to
Okay,
charge.
no, I was just wondering. We'll call an aggregate committee meeting, and I think Council Brohan is the chair. Yep, okay, we'll just, okay, I'll call for the question. All in favor to get it going, second reading. Okay, now the third reading.
I can make that motion, be it resolved that bylaw number 1719/11/2023 being a bylaw to regulate and control the mining and transport of aggregate be given third and final reading.
Second that motion.
Second, any questions? Get it pushed through and we'll worry about it in the new year. Yep, call for the question. All in favor? No. Okay. Need a break? We'll just wait.
I'll be 2 seconds.
Okay, into the grants. $11.1. Or else you want to table it for more information. We don't have any solid numbers yet, but it's up to council. I will make a comment on the one for the, I know we're supposed to have a motion, but I think we need to table it. I was talking to the CEO before the meeting. She said we can do it in January. The one for the Elton Collegiate, that one has been paid. Somebody paid for it. So the municipality doesn't have to worry about that $500 scholarship that was paid a while back. So, but it's a few votes. There's a motion there.
Mr. Chairperson, why don't you mention grants that have actually been paid for the audience here, so they know what's been paid?
Yeah, go ahead,
I
Councilor.
was asking you if you.
Yep, okay. So unfinished business for November. Municipal accounts show that the following grants have not been paid. Brandon Hill Cemetery, $1,250. Spruce Woods Hall have been paid. I'm sorry, have been paid. $1,250 to the Brandon Hill Cemetery. Excuse me. Spruce Woods Hall, $5,000. Oh, excuse me. Manitoba Agriculture Hall of Fame, $250. Oh, no, excuse me. Chater Cemetery mowing, $2,085, and the $500 scholarship for Brooklyn Franklin. So, community centers and halls budgeted amount was $57.50. We expensed $62.50, so we're over there. Grants budgeted $5,000. Expense $35.35, and remaining is $1,465. The skating rink and Chater budgeted $2,500, expense $909.50 for a rink liner, remaining $1,590 from that one. So that's that report came from the CEO.
I just want to also mention, Mr. Chairperson, that rink liner that we purchased has a lifespan of 5 years.
Good point. Yeah. But there was a few other requests that came in. One from the Spruce Woods Game and Wildlife Center there. They put in a request and it was never paid out. So that's why I'm wondering if we shouldn't have a look at this a little bit deeper before we commit, because there was at least one other one that came in via emails all the way back to January, and somehow they got misplaced. So, but it's up to council. The resolution's in front of you with no numbers and no names in there.
Well, Mr. Chairperson, if our interim CAO suggests that we can still do this in January, that's something we should
Yeah.
look
Okay.
at.
Okay, want to table it then? 11.1. Okay, yeah, good point. Before we, okay. 11.2.
Be it resolved that in accordance with Section 8(1)D of the Emergency Measures Act, the emergency plan for the municipality of Cornwallis for 2024 be adopted as presented.
Seconder? Sure. Councilor Brown, any questions? No, I'll call for the question. All in favor? No. 11.3.
Whereas 3 code of conduct complaints have been filed and whereas mediation has been declined, therefore be it resolved that the Arm of Cornwallis authorizes the interim CAO to sign the Investigative Solutions Network Inc. letter of understanding and to forward the retainer in the amount of $15,000.
Have a seconder. Councilor, go ahead. Anybody any questions? I'll just make a comment here on this code of conduct, $15,000. In my opinion, it's irresponsible to escalate this to a level without without even trying to resolve issues around the table together first. And I'm not gonna support it, so that's my comment. $15,000 can be used in a lot better ways than do that, so. Yep. Anybody else with a comment? I'll call for the question. All in favor? Against? I'm against. Okay. 11.4, subdivision.
I'll make that motion, whereas a resolution was passed at the November 21st, 2023 regular meeting of council for subdivision 4116-23-8557, which in error had inadvertently left off the required subdivision conditions. And whereas conditions are a requirement of subdivision, therefore be it resolved that the November 21st, 2023 resolution for 4116-23-8557 hereby amended to read in full as. Whereas the rural municipality of Cornwallis has received a proposed subdivision file to downsize a residential lot and consolidate the extra land with the adjacent lot to the west. This is a realignment of boundaries and consolidation of the remainder of Title 189-1926 to Title 279-6329. This application is consistent with the development plan and meets the provincial criteria for a subdivision, which enables it to be given conditional approval without requiring an interdepartmental circulation or planning report. Therefore be it resolved that the Council of the RM Cornwallis hereby approves subdivision application 4116-23-855 subject to the following conditions. 1, the applicant to obtain a conditional use for the non-farm dwelling parcel on lot 1 within the AG agricultural general zone. 2, the applicant to obtain a variation order for proposed lot 1 for site area from 10 acres up to 17 acres. 3, the applicant to obtain a conditional use for the non-farm dwelling parcel on lot 2 within the AG agricultural general zone. And number 4, meeting any other conditions and requirements of subdivision as are necessary.
Can I have a seconder?
Yeah, second.
Councilor Maxwell. Okay. Okay, any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay, there's another one.
4116-23-8582, Southwest 41019W, minor, and Mitchell. Whereas a resolution was passed at the November 21st, 2023 regular meeting of council for subdivision 4116-23-8582, which in error had inadvertently left off the required subdivision conditions, and whereas conditions are a requirement of subdivision, therefore be it resolved that the November 21st, 2023 resolution for 4116-23-8582 be hereby amended to read in full as. Whereas the rural municipality of Cornwallis has received the proposed minor subdivision file to separate an existing farm dwelling from the rest of the agricultural land in order to sell the agricultural land. This application is consistent with the development plan and meets the provincial criteria for the minor subdivision, which enables it to be given conditional approval without requiring an interdepartmental circulation or planning report. And whereas community planning has issued conditional approval for the subdivision application as per section 125(1) of the Planning Act, the applicant must obtain municipal approval prior to completing other conditions of subdivision. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of Cornwallis hereby approves subdivision application 4116-23-8582 subject to the following conditions. That the applicant obtain a conditional use for proposed lot 1 for the non-farm dwelling, that the applicant obtain a variance order for site area for the residual property from the required 80 acres to 75 acres.
Can I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Councillor Brown seconds it. Any questions? I'll call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay, one more.
All right, 4116-23-8569, SE 19-10-17 West. P and A Bernie, whereas a resolution was passed at the November 21st, 2023 regular meeting of council for subdivision 4116-23-8569, which in error had inadvertently left off the required subdivision conditions, and whereas conditions are a requirement of subdivision, therefore be it resolved that the November 21, 2023 resolution for 4116-23-8569 be hereby amended to read in full as, whereas the RM of Cornwallis received a subdivision application of a proposed subdivision to separate rural residential yard site, 10 acres, from the rest of the property, 30.09 acres, to facilitate the donation of the remaining land to the Nature Conservancy of Canada to preserve native mixed grass prairie. The existing yard site is serviced by a sewer ejector and by an individual well. Access is onto a municipal road, and whereas the Keystone Planning District provided their feedback on the subdivision as follows, no comment. Therefore be it resolved that the council of the RM Cornwallis hereby approves subdivision application 4116-23-8569, subject to the following conditions. That is, one, that a zoning bylaw amendment be obtained, rezoning proposed lot 1 from RR 40 zone to RR 10 zone. 2, that a variance order be granted, reducing the required 80-acre site area for the residual parcel down to 30.09 acres to bring the proposed development into conformance with the zoning bylaw. And 3, meeting any other conditions and requirements of subdivision as are necessary.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Councillor Ross. No? Any questions? All in favor? Carried.
Okay. Be it resolved that 2 new computer systems for administration are hereby authorized to be purchased together with the recommended installed software from Brandon Computers at a cost of $3,158.36.
Have a second. Councillor Rohan. Any question or any comments there?
Well, since we upgraded to Munisoft, the computers that we have in the office don't run the applications very, very well, and it's creating a backlog when customers come in and need to deal with the front staff. So we need faster computers as well. These computers are laptops, and as we head into another season of COVID, it'll give staff the ability to be able to work from home if they need to be mobile.
Thanks, Terry, for the explanation. Anybody else? I'll call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay, I've got the resolution here that, just want to make sure I'm on the right one.
I can read it.
What's that?
I can read it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Whereas letters of support from various organizations have been received, the request from Brandon Islamic Center, therefore be it resolved that the RM of Cornwallis Council supports services from the city to be run into this subject property.
How about second? Councilor Rowan. Any question?
I just was wondering about a friendly amendment to approach the city of Brandon to see if we could enter into an agreement with them to have this water out to them.
And sewer or just water?
Just water,
Just water?
that's all they're asking.
Yeah, I have no problem. Write it
I
down.
accept that.
Yeah, if you're okay with that. Yeah.
read your chicken scratch.
Trying to read fast.
Actually, Councilor Brown, before you copy it, just read the last letter from the Brandon Islamic Center, the RM of Cornwall's letter. They are referring to sewer and water. Like from our former CEO. So they are, that's what I was wondering. Somewhere I've seen a letter, sewer and water.
What's this and or?
Well, yeah,
Well, I think
That was-
water
it-
is their main.
okay. I'm okay with it. I just seen the letter here. There's been quite, there's
Water
been
and
multiple requests, and I'm certain there were, I could be wrong. I thought they were talking about the sewer as well. I have no problem.
Excuse me, Chairman. This clarification factor, if you would like to hear clarification.
No, we can't open it up. It's the rules. I mean, what this is saying is support it. If they don't need it, they can do a deal with the city. Yeah,
I think we want sewer also.
Yeah. that's what I thought. I was certain I seen a letter from that
Yeah.
organization. That's good. So we'll cover.
I know it's been quite a while
Yeah.
since we have been talking with the city about
Yeah, I agree.
this.
Okay. Just for the audience, there's overwhelming support from various organizations for to run that service out there.
Whereas letters of support from various organizations have been received, the request from Brandon Islamic Center, therefore be it resolved that the RM of Cornwallis Council supports services from the city to be run into this subject property. Also, therefore be it resolved to enter into an agreement with the city of Brandon to have piped sewer and water services to this location.
Can I have a seconder? Councilor Brown?
Actually, he
Oh,
seconded.
what the
You seconded the first, okay. yeah,
second,
gotcha.
so will you accept the friendly amendment?
Yes.
Okay, so that's okay. So, are we all on the same page here? I'll call for the question. All in favor? Carried.
Okay.
12.3.
Be it resolved that the resignation received from Sabrina Slack, interim council secretary dated November 21st, 2023, be hereby accepted effective November 21st, 2023.
Second.
Seconded. Any questions? Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. Next one is communication. There's no resolution there, or else somebody has one. 12.4, we'll table. Yeah, we'll table it till next meeting. Yeah. Okay, 12.5.
That's a budget one, we should table it as well.
Yeah. Okay, it's a budget number for RM of Elton Water Tanker, so we'll table that one as well. 12.6.
Be it resolved that to observe various statutory holidays, the municipal office will be closed at noon on December 22nd, 2023, and reopen on January 3rd, 2024, 8:30 a.m.
Can I have a second? No. Anybody any questions? Call for the question, all in favor. Okay. 12.7.
Be it resolved that the Federation of Canadian Municipalities membership be renewed for 2024.
I Seconder. Councilor Rohan. Any question or comments?
I just
No.
want to mention the price is $1,279.49.
Yeah, for the annual fee. Yeah. Nobody has any question? I'll call for the fee. Question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. 12.8.
Whereas the rural municipality of Cornwallis entered into an agreement with Manitoba Infrastructure for service road and intersection improvement adjacent to North Half 311019 West Prime Meridian dated November 22nd, 2019. And whereas the completion date is September 31st, 2022. And whereas the rural municipality of Cornwallis submitted a letter to Manitoba Infrastructure for an extension from September 30th, 2022, and the extension was granted to November 16th, 2023, in accordance with the condition 6 of the signed agreement. And whereas the rural municipality of Cornwall submitted a letter to Manitoba Infrastructure requesting a further extension from November 16th, 2023 to May 2024, which was granted. And whereas the rural municipality of Cornwall has received notification that the project may be further delayed, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Rural Municipality of Cornwallis is hereby request an extension to May 2024?
No, I'd go further. I'd go further.
September 2024?
September 24.
September 2024.
Okay, you're okay with September 24? I just don't like these extensions. There's some issues out there. So we got a mover, second, Councilor Maxwell. I'll just make a comment here. I mean, it's worded really well. The RM did get a letter from MIT that they will not accept some of the conditions up there, like some of the things. I think it's minor, in my opinion, minor repairs, but we may as well buy ourselves some time. Just in case we get a wet spring, we can reseed everything. Yep. Any other questions? We want to see that getting done. Call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Okay. 11.9. Sorry, 12.9. You want to table that till the new year? No? Okay, we'll table that as well. We got a meeting on Thursday. Yeah, okay. The appointments, KPD. Inquiries.
We have these new business items on here that we haven't addressed yet.
That's right. Got it. Okay. New business. Yeah. There's two. Okay. The Kit Harrison one. 1 point. Yeah. Request for extension of his purchase. Now we got to flip to the other meeting. Just give me a second.
Whereas Kit Harrison Sutton Realty was granted an extension for his rezoning and subdivision of properties located at 1910 Victoria Avenue East. Whereas 2 extensions were granted in 2023, therefore be resolved that a further extension be approved to June 30th, 2024.
Have a seconder.
I'm sorry.
Councilor Brown, you got any comments? Yeah. You got any comments, Councilor Brown? So land transaction, so, yeah, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Carried. Flyway construction. I'll read it out, then you can move. Whereas the City of Brandon Fire Department attended a recent fire in the RM of Cornwallis, and whereas the Reeve was contacted and requested to secure the service of a backhoe to be sent to the site. Therefore, be it resolved that the invoice received from Tri-Wave Construction in the amount of $1,497.50 be hereby approved for payment. Need a mover?
I'll make the motion.
Seconder? Councilor Rohan? You got any question? Councilor? Yeah, I'll just make a comment. I got a phone call at 4 o'clock in the morning, a fire in the southern part of the municipality, just off Spring Valley Road at 4 o'clock in the morning, that they need a backhoe. If they phone fire departments always, whether it's the Shiloh or the Brandon one, they always phone the Reeve, I guess, we're on speed dial or something. And then the lieutenant fire department called me saying we need a backhoe for safety purposes. So I had to phone Tri-Wave Construction. It wasn't at 4:00. I tried, but he didn't answer his phone till about 6. So just thought I'd give everybody a heads up. Okay, nobody else has a question? I'll call for the question. All in favor? Carry. 1.3.
Be resolved that the Arlen Cornwallis office be closed January 3rd, 4th, and 5th, 2024 to allow administration to close out the 2023 year end and implement new year procedures.
Seconder? No. Councilor Ross? Any comments?
It's just closing the office. They're actually doing a conversion from one system to another.
Yeah.
They'll physically be here, but it's just
No
it's too
interruption.
hard to, it's too hard to
Okay.
systems.
I'll call for the questions. All in favor? Okay. 2.1.
Be it resolved that the list of accounts to December 19th, 2023 be hereby approved as presented.
Seconder? Yeah, Councilor Brohan? Okay, there's not that many there, so. You looked over them?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll call for the question. All in favor? Okay. Now we did the entire correspondence, and now we're gonna flip back to the other page.
Here's the motion to adjourn.
Yeah, we received all this.
Yeah, everything is done.
Actually. Inquiry?
Yeah, just give me, I had to flip back because I'm running two agendas here. Yes, okay, just give me a second. Yeah, we are at number 13. Does any council member have inquiries?
I have an inquiry.
Yeah.
I know I asked you a couple of times about a status report for the Chater LPS service. I noticed we're still getting comments and questions from ratepayers out there. And we need something. I looked on the provincial water services board, and that project's for $2.5 million, and this council hasn't seen the status update yet. Not one. And I don't think we should be allowing this to continue on. I have no idea when the project's supposed to be done, and I don't know how much money we have left. So I want a status report. I'd asked a couple of times for it, and I want it provided to us so that we can put it on the website. And when our ratepayers and Chater want to know what's going on, they can look. Because we are getting comments, and I think they deserve better. So that's my inquiry. I'd like to know if we can get a report from the project manager for that.
Well,
I want a status report on the budget, I want it on the schedule, and I want to know what scope has changed since they started the project. Important.
Terry's the utility chairperson. You set up a meeting with Burns Mendel back in November, or was it October?
It was October.
October. So could you?
Yeah. We didn't discuss any of that, though. That was to
Yeah.
deal with those two ratepayer
Yeah.
concerns out in
Okay.
Chater.
Yeah, what we've received, I've reached out to Manitoba Water Services Board, and the project engineer has forwarded to the office the latest report that I'm aware of. I haven't seen anything because it goes to the CAO. Manitoba Water Services Board are willing to come to a meeting, but it has to be come from administration. They're highly recommending that the CAO needs to give that status report. Now,
That is asinine.
That's-
People holding on to that project and sitting on $2.5 million need to tell us how much they got left.
well, that's
I'm more
Manitoba,
concerned that they might not have any left.
that's Manitoba Water Service Board. They got the
So
money.
we
Okay.
need to know what's
Yeah.
going on. Did the council at this table approve that project?
Well, I
We
don't-
should get a status report on what's going on there, because we're getting harangued by ratepayers quite rightly, saying, when can I turn my pump on? We need to know.
Yeah.
So I'm asking for that status report. I don't know where it comes from, but I want it at this table so we can look at it.
Why don't we get the CEO to contact the engineering firm?
Why doesn't the engineering firm contact us? They
What?
got the money. They're spending our money. I wanna know what they're doing with it.
Well, they're managing the pro, it's Water Service Board that handles the money. Yeah, that's,
Okay, so they don't have an idea when they're supposed to be done or how much they've spent? Is that what you're telling me? That's all I wanna know is when the customers or the ratepayers are
Yeah,
calling,
I-
I need to tell them, what's going on? Because I don't blame them for questioning it, but I don't want their comments
I-
to me.
I'll email the CEO to get a hold of the project engineer, that's who's managing it, and Water Service Board.
Well,
And
here's
set up
my
a meeting.
concerns, Mr. Chairman. I have a comment from you after I asked for that report, and what you said to me was that you were at their site discussing the project, and I'm not thinking that's real kosher. And what you said in that, and I'm gonna read your words, you said, if I remember right, Ryan informed me the project was on track to come in budget. Well, that's not a status report. I wanna see the numbers, because if I'm gonna be stuck at this table when the numbers go over, I wanna at least see them sometime. So we need a status report.
Councilor Maxwell, I appreciate the comment. Actually, it was Councilor Ross that set up the meeting about those two ratepayers, and the engineer gave us a heads up at that time, whatever the meeting was, that the project is tracking at that time, end of October, on budget. And they were quite pleased with it. I haven't heard
That's
of,
not
no,
real comforting.
I haven't heard
want
of any
I want a
overruns.
little bit more
Yep.
than their comfort.
I will
okay?
email the CAO to set up a meeting with all of council obviously in the new year.
We need that status report from the
Yep.
engineers.
Yep.
And we need to be able to provide that so the ratepayers.
Yeah,
can
I
see
agree.
what,
And we want Water Services Board there so they can advise council and administration who is responsible of issuing that report. And I talked to Gerald, who's the Water Services representative, and he made it very clear to me again, like he has all summer long at these meetings, it needs to come from administration. The report, like,
Where would they get it?
what's that?
Where would they get it?
Get what?
The report. You say it needs to come from our administration. Well, where are they gonna get it?
From Ryan Johnson, who has emailed.
Exactly. And that's the guys that should be giving it.
Well,
to
he-
us.
He's emailed it on multiple occasions. Not to, we don't get it, it's administration that received it. So I'll email the
We need a
CEO.
status report.
Yeah,
On a
we will get a,
$2.5 million project. We have no
Yeah.
idea where it's at.
no, that's good question. Okay, anybody else got any inquiry? No? Okay, any notice of motion? No? Now, number 15 in camera, I just want to bring to council's attention, as per our procedure bylaw, it was brought to my attention and I was really surprised. As per our procedure bylaw, that 16790818, that we don't have anything on here to go in camera. So I'm just bringing it to council's attention. And I sent out the email to all of council and to the CAO when I was advised back on November the 29th, I wanted to insert the land acknowledgement and the in-camera to our procedure bylaw, at least to start us down the right path. Because right now, our procedure bylaw does not allow us to go into camera. So I don't know how council can. Now, we're not professionals in that league. When it was brought to my attention, I sent everybody the email on November the 29th, and there has been no action. I really wanted a first reading, second reading, and third reading, and we've had multiple meetings, so I don't know how we can go into camera when it's not part of our procedure bylaw to go in camera. So, I mean, if you guys want to go to procedure bylaw that this council actually accepted in November of 2022. It was probably one of our first bylaws that as James Montgomery was the acting chief administrative officer. So if it's a bylaw and it doesn't allow us to go into camera, it's something that you can pass it around. And I sent the folks the emails. And actually, I think one of the counselors responded to that email. So, a bylaw is a bylaw, so I don't think we can go into camera, folks.
Be it resolved that in accordance with the Municipal Act, Section 152(3)(b)(2), council do hereby close the meeting to the public and move in camera at 8:25 p.m.
Okay, can I have a seconder? You second it? Okay, so you got any comments, Councilor Maxwell?
No, I assume it's in the Municipal Act. and
No,
Section 152.
But that's we've got our procedure bylaw. So are you saying the municipal act overrides anything in our? Yeah, okay, no, but just want to make sure we're on the record here. Yeah. Okay, so you got a second? All in favor going into camera? I'm gonna vote against it because of this until we get clarification, but I'll follow you folks, so. Yeah, I'll vote, call for the question, all in favor? Against? I'm against it, but I'll just want to make sure that I'm following our procedure. Okay, we'll go next door so the public can stay here for a few minutes.
Yeah, he's the one the rest is all over this one.
It's well fed. Yeah, it's that's true. I've already taken a stray in and somebody dropped off. Yeah, there are some cats that don't socialize very well. Get one of those. Oh, what?
You just know what? We can go. We might have to leave.
Oh, the album.
She does for sale. On the west side.
No, I didn't.
Everybody ready? Okay, I'll call the meeting back to order. 15.2 or 15.3. Exit out of camera. Motion. Yep, excuse me. Thanks, Bob.
Be resolved that the council concludes the in-camera session and reopen the meeting to the public at 8:40 PM.
Okay. Seconder? Councilor Maxwell. Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Okay. 15.4.
Whereas the code of conduct complaint number 4 has been received by the CAO pursuant to bylaw number 69.3/06/2020. And whereas the third party reviewer has determined the complaint acceptable as per Article 8.6 of said bylaw, therefore be it resolved that council accept the reviewer's recommendation and allow the complaint to proceed to the next phase, mediation investigation of the complaint resolution process as per Article 8.9 of the Code of Conduct of Council Members bylaw.
Have a second.
Yeah, I'll say.
Any questions? Any comments? No, I'm not going to support that, but yep. Anybody else? Call for the question. All in favor? Against? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Have a second.
I'll say.
Councilor Maxwell. Councilor Ross moved it. Adjourn. All in favor? Carried. Bob, we didn't have to do your 9:30 thing. I'm shocked. No, we're all at your place again. Yeah. Got your Tylenol? If it's like a Hobro, and you need Tylenol. Oh, that used to be the same.
Still.
What?
I mean,